Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching Pacific Rim The Black, which was animated by Polygon Pictures and is based on the Pacific Rim film series. Now, for many of us who watched Pacific Rim back in 2013, we saw that as one of the best films of that particular year, thanks to Guillermo del Toro's direction, the awesome kaiju versus mech battles, and the surprisingly good story that was mixed in with all those awesome visuals. The less said about Pacific Rim Uprising, the better when it comes to its storytelling and its characters, though it does have its merits occasionally. Now, Pacific Rim The Black is a spin-off that takes place years after the films, as kaiju happen to ravage over Australia, and when we follow a pair of siblings who are trying to find their way to survive in this world, as well as find out information about their parents. But let's get to the story, shall we? That's basically the story. While our main pair of siblings, Taylor and Haley, happen to try to find a Jaeger that's underneath their base that they've been staying in over the past few years, and they happen to find a bunch of different things related to what's really been going on in Australia, including a group of human survivors, other kaiju that the films haven't shown before, as well as a bunch of other surprises that I don't want to spoil for you. For a 7-episode length, it actually really tells a good story when it comes to expanding the lore of Pacific Rim, as well as staying true to the films. There's several references to the first two movies that people who saw the first two films will definitely enjoy, but the story does hold up on its own, especially considering that none of the characters from the first two films appear in it outside of references. So Taylor and Haley are allowed to stand on their own two merits, and I really do like them as characters. They happen to feel like real siblings, and their bits of both comedy and drama together do happen to work well. But there's also other characters, such as May, a human survivor who has her own shadowy past that is delved into a bit here, and I hope gets expanded upon in later seasons. There's Shane, who manages to be a bit of an antagonist throughout the series, who also manages to be rather imposing and happens to give our heroes a bit of a hard time. And there's this young boy that our main characters come across who not a lot's revealed about him, mainly for a twist that's revealed in the last episode, but it's very clear that he's going to be kind of a MacGuffin for future parts of the show. Now, Polygon Pictures has really tried to make a case for 3D anime, and I think this is kind of their best looking work yet. It's not anywhere close to say Beastars or Land of the Lustrous when it comes to its quality, but I do think its CGI animation is really good for the human characters, and especially for the kaiju and the mechs. They look pretty much how they look like in the films. They fight really. The fights feel weighty and with a lot of risk. You know, the way they did back in the first film, less so in Uprising. And I do think that the overall designs fit right into the universe of the films. But with it being only 7 episodes long, it does mean that the series doesn't feel like it manages to get everything when it comes to its story, probably to set up for another season. But what it does offer us is a lot of dramatic moments with our characters, some genuinely good humor, and some rockin' action scenes between the kaijus and our human survivors. So, if you're a fan of the first two Pacific Rim films, or even just the first film, I would recommend this. It definitely has enough good action scenes and great characters to warrant a watch. But I do hope it manages to get a second season to justify how it ended. So that's why I'm going to give Pacific Rim The Black an 8 out of 10. See you next time.